Hello, good morning, good evening, good night, dear listeners. Once again, you have found yourself on the road to Auto Assembly for the final time, no less. Because this is the day before. Just to ruin everything, I'm not recording on the day before because that would be daft. I have again with me three people. Three this time for this final episode. Three people dragged out and then paraded because if I told them exactly what I was going to do, they wouldn't have come and done it, so I had to trick them with traps. First up, from the IDW forums and from Twitter, it is Sprite. Say hello.
Hey, everybody.
And then next to her, we've got the one, the only, Mr. Adam White.
This isn't the tax office.
No, it's the Thumbtacks office.
Ah.
And then finally, it is my distinct pleasure to say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we have the one, the only, the Soul Man Inc. We've got Mr. Simon Williams.
Is this Ann Summers? Me. Meant to meet up with Rob here at Summers. You know something, guys? I just don't know where I am, brother. I thought this was Ann Summers, dude. I was going to get my new tights, my new lingerie, my new toys, brother.
Can we just do this as a half hour listening to Simon Williams and we'll just sit here and laugh?
Yep, I'll do it.
For another half a minute before it's gone.
I recommend the Rampant Rabbit.
Well, you know something, dude? That was my moves for many, many years. When I did the Rampant Rabbit on Andre the Giant, brother. Yeah, let out a lot of wind, man.
The sentence, when I did the Rampant Rabbit on Andre the Giant, is probably going to haunt me for weeks to come. It's a physical image that I don't need.
Is it wrong that I do want to see that now put down in comic form?
Yes.
Oh, God. Moving swiftly on.
A better man than me to draw that, I think.
Who do we know that's a very atomically correct artist?
You need a very wide nib.
So,
Step hand.
oh no. Well, we're less than 2 minutes in. I'm already sweating with laughter. This is a good start. So, we're here to discuss AA's past and present and to give some thoughts and ramp up the excitement for this year for Auto Assembly 2013. I was about to say 2012 there. That would have been interesting. So, we shall start off. Sprite!
Yeah!
Give me your favourite memories of Auto Assembly.
Can I just say all of it? No?
Well, you could. It's not very progressive for talking like, but
I've got so many good memories now.
I shall limit it to two.
2? You said 3.
I did say
You
three.
said 3.
I did
You
say
said
3.
3.
Fine, go for 3.
No take backsies.
My show, I can take back whatever I want.
No, well, thing that stands out in my mind, of course, was last year, the script reading.
Yes.
I was in it.
You were?
I was playing Verity. You knew that.
Yes, I did. I was
You
there.
are messing with me.
I saw
Yeah.
it, yes.
That was just amazing. I was really amazed by they were announcing the names of the people who were going to in it and announced my name, and I got such a huge applause. I was just so overwhelmed by that, and I hadn't even said anything yet. But it was really really a great experience.
I imagine it would be. I still haven't done that yet. At some point I need to throw my hat into the script reading just to see.
Yeah, well, the thing was, I mentioned on Facebook that I wasn't going to cosplay as Verity that year, and I got a message from Simon saying that Simon Furman was writing Verity in the script reading, and he wanted me to play to voice act her.
That's
and
really cool.
That would be a good excuse to cosplay as Verity again. So that's why I was cosplaying as Verity again last year, even though I had already done it 2 years.
Yeah. 2
years in a row. So.
You cosplayed, and voiced her. So, I mean, that's the step up. This year, you've got to cosplay, voice her, and actually have an animated cell made of yourself.
Well, basically, it's not going to be me cosplaying as Verity, but it's going to be Verity in the comic being based on me.
Yeah, you just walk around with a 2D cutout of yourself dressed as Verity going, I can't be bothered this year, just look at this one.
I'll just hand out a little postcard with a picture of Verity on it and sign it. You know?
Just handing out DVDs. I made a movie. I am Verity now.
Aw.
I'd
Yeah.
pay to see that.
This has horrible paths. So moving on. Not going
yeah.
down this path here, Simon. Not
Well-
going down that path. Your second memory, please.
My second memory, well, I'm actually going back into time because this was last year, and
I thought you were going to say
it
your
was
second memory was actually travelling in time.
well, it is kind of traveling in time because when I live in the Netherlands. When I go to England, I travel back 1 hour.
Oh, very good point.
Ah.
Do 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 do.
Oh boy!
my first year was Auto Assembly 2010 was actually also the first year where I traveled anywhere abroad on my own. So that was really exciting and frightening at the same time. But everything went smoothly, and it was really, really amazing getting to meet a lot of people that I know. I've been talking to online since 2009.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that Auto Assembly's become famed for now. That
Yeah.
The people that you meet for a lot of the time, they become a very strong community.
Yeah.
It's something that's existed now for a good fair few years, and it's lovely to see.
And that's really got brought home to me when I arrived, and the reception I got from a lot of people, from fans and creators as well, which was really, really amazing. And it was
It's really good.
really, well, pretty overwhelming to realize that so many people wanted to meet me as much as I wanted to meet them. So that was really cool.
Until you're stuck in a lift with somebody. The memories of being stuck in the lift with the small child who knew my voice. All I could think of at the time was, you should not be listening to a word I've ever said. You are far too young. Anyhow, so your final memory then, please.
Well, there's a memory. I was gonna get to that.
All right, sorry.
It kind of ties into that because it's kind of funny. I think it was on Auto Assembly 2010 again, first year, Thursday evening in a bar, and I happened to be seated next to a guy named Jim. Yeah, and I didn't realize it was Jim Sorensen because I sat next to him and he just was like, "Hi, I'm Jim," and I'm like, "I'm Sprite," and funny thing was, I think he knew who I was before I realized who he was, and it was only when he mentioned Drift that it clicked with me, and I was like, "Oh."
Yes, it is horrible when you're talking to somebody and you suddenly realise that they know who you are, but you have no idea who they are. Hey, Mr. White.
Well, I just thought it was funny.
It is hilarious.
Well, it is cool. I think that's the other thing that he has become famed for over the years, is the relaxed atmosphere. So a lot of the time you get the guests who, they're quite happy to sit and just chat with people. And it's not something you get in places like BotCon or even any of the sort of comic conventions. You don't get a lot of fan interaction after hours.
Yeah, it's a shame, really, because that's one of the highlights of the convention, really. It's like talking with people.
Yeah,
Just-
completely.
And the guests are so down to earth. You know, the voice actors, they're so down to earth as well. And I mean, look at the one day I was having lunch with Greg Berger.
Yeah.
Oh, he's lovely, isn't he?
Awesome.
I think he was the one of the first persons I met at Auto Assembly 2011. He was then there, wasn't he? And we went down to the breakfast lounge to have breakfast, and he sat there, and I was wearing a Transformers T-shirt, and he actually stopped me, and I was like, "Oh, are you part of the convention, you know?"
Yeah.
And we just sat down and had a chat with him, and it was really, really wonderful. And my sister wasn't there that year, but she's a huge Grimlock fan, so I had something signed. He actually gave me one of the prints he had signed for my sister, which was really, really nice of him. He's a really, really great guy.
Oh, he really is. I got so drunk with him that first Friday night. So painfully drunk. But Berger is a legend. It's actually interesting. Berger's name's come up more than anybody else in these series of shows. He really has made himself out. Not made himself out to be. He's really put himself forward as just being an everyman. He doesn't. He finds himself blessed to be what he's doing, but he doesn't see himself as a celebrity as such.
Well, it seemed really surreal when I was you mentioned Quantum Leap earlier. I was watching the classic episode, What Price Gloria, and
you remember the show, the show opening? There was always that clip of Sam Beckett dressed as a woman whacking someone with his purse.
Yes.
Yep.
Greg is actually in that scene, and he has quite a big speaking role in that scene. And I'm kind of watching it and thinking, I know that man. And he's. I mean, I've loved all the guests that I've been blessed to meet, but Greg was. I mean, Grimlock is an all-time favourite of mine, so it was especially cool to meet him.
Completely. The guy is just such a lovely, genuine man.
Yeah.
And he knows his stuff about punk music. Good Lord, does he know his stuff.
Oh, I'm going to have to bend his ear then, because I've got punk characters showing up in my comic.
Ooh. Ooh, damn.
Said true believers.
They're not going down the Stanley path. Not going down the Stanley path.
I can't handle you going down the Stanley path.
Nope.
Excelsior!
Must not made myself feel violently ill with myself last year.
Victory cameo.
No, you're not helping, Simon. You're not helping.
Sorry, it's just one of my voices taking over.
It's like you're just sitting there just like going, well, you know that you're a recovering meth addict. Here's some meth. It's like, no, must not be Stanley. Should we move over to Mr. White then?
Oh, surprised, are you done with all yours?
I am never done.
Well, you've done 3, haven't you? Yes.
I know, I was just trying to distract you so I could have more time to jot down ideas because there have been so many.
I can squeeze in another memory.
Go on, squeeze in another one.
All right. This actually takes place after 2000, obviously 2010, but it so happened that my sister and I shared a flight with Gary Chalk, and we basically met up at the airport, and basically sat around, relaxed, and talked and sang songs, and it was nearly missed our flight.
But were people throwing you money?
No.
I like how defensive you made that. No, we tried.
Yeah, we needed to pay for our flight back, you know.
No, I did hear about that flight where there was 2 women hanging onto the wheels.
We had to do other stuff. It was horrible.
Oh, God. Well, I feel distinctly uncomfortable now.
I do. We'll let the listeners fill in all that stuff on their own time.
Let's.
Sweet dreams, children.
Did you have to kill a man?
Define man.
Moving on.
Define kill.
Define chainsaws. So.
Define.
I'm just gonna back away now because I'm now terrified of you. Don't hurt me.
I'm still confused. I don't have a clue.
Mr. White.
Hello.
Your time's up.
Okay. It's weird. My first memory of it. It's weird with auto assemblies as well. I could pretend I remember exactly which year every incident is from, but they all sort of just coalesce, don't they? You know, you're with your friends or you're with people who become your friends, and these events happen. The first one is a good example of, you know, the sort of stuff that people do for each other, selflessly as part of the spirit. It was the last year that Gary Chalk was with us, and there was lots of stuff going on with various people, and I just happened to notice he'd wandered out one day, and it was early morning, and he'd said hi, and it was just starting to rain, and I suddenly realised he's on his own. He's on his own for probably the first time I'd seen him at the convention, and he looked relaxed and chilled out. So I charged across the bar and grabbed Simon Ski and went, hey, Gary Chalk's free. You might want to have a word. Because I knew it was a big thing for him.
Yeah.
It wasn't really for me. There's no offence to you fans of Gary Chalk out there, but it was a thing for Simon, and that was the important thing. So they went out, they started chatting, and I stood there at the door to the balcony, and when people came up and went, oh, is that Gary? I said, look, would you mind awfully if my mate had a few extra minutes with Gary Chalk? Just because I know he'd really appreciate it. And not a single person complained or whatever. They were all cool with it, and I didn't push anyone back. I could assure people listening. But the fact was, those guys chatted for about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And I waited there whilst they did it. I didn't do anything else. I waited there with my camera. And the moment they turned to go in, I ran out and went, "Hey guys, whilst you're here, let's take a picture." And I got a really nice picture of Simon and Gary.
That's really
And it
cool,
had
man.
nothing to do, and it's so rewarding for me because that was rewarding for him.
Yeah.
And that, trust me, that's not alone. Everyone is pulling stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone. So, so.
Well, you look at the 5-man operation to get Greg Berger to sign a Masterpiece Grimlock for Mikey.
Yeah.
It's just such a lovely story, and it's such a great thing for people to do.
Yes. The second one is the stories regards last year, and you've mentioned obviously Greg being a superstar guest. And last year we had Paul Eading and Michael Bell, and we knew more about Paul, we knew more of his character, we knew less about Michael. And on the Friday when I walked in, Paul was there with his entire family. And you could tell that the entire family were going, "Wow, this is a great place for all of us to be." And Michael Bell was looking around going, "No one's bothering me, but I'm having a great time."
Mm-hmm.
And then when they went up for the movie that we were showing on the Friday night, I even heard Michael say, "Oh, so we just sort of go up and say hi, and they do the rest, and we'll just sit down and it'll be fine." I thought, oh, great, well, this should be fun. Michael goes up and he says, "Hey, it's really good to be here. It's great. I'm really enjoying this. Yeah, really liking the way you guys run with AA." And then they invited up Paul, and everything changed. Because he grabbed the two young ladies who were helping out the guests, and he strutted on stage whilst his missus and his daughters were bawling with laughter. Michael Bell suddenly realised, hang on, I'm being upstaged here. I'm not leaving this conversation. I'm going to keep going. And we got, half an hour of them bantering on stage. And I looked across at Dave, and he was just going, "Oh my God, they're doing improv." And from that moment on, you had, last year, Paul Eading's family. I've never known a guest family get the most out of a convention. They were there all the time. They were having a ball.
Yeah.
And Michael Bell adored it. He had to leave early, and I never spoke to him because he was the voice of Sideswipe, my favourite character. Never got to speak to him. Probably a little bit nervous, probably because I knew how busy he was. Jamie, Magic Man, comes up to me late on the Sunday. He went, "Oh, by the way, Michael saw you charging around. He wanted to give you this, an autographed picture."
Oh.
Now, if I'd stood in a queue and asked him for an autograph, that would have been nice. That was a gift. That was a gift that I didn't even ask for.
That's really special.
Yeah, man, that's so cool.
And the final one, is something that's rather familiar to folks because it actually relies on a gift. Because a couple of years ago, I was doing some jobs. I'd run into town, and I get a call from Dave going, "Come on, get back to the convention centre. We need you." And I'm like, "Look, seriously, I'm running here. I'm tired. I'm getting Sharpies for artists. They'll never appreciate it." He says as he looks at one of them now that's still never been used. But I charge in. There's a whole group of people sat there looking very, very smug. A group of people I know and Greg Berger looking very smug. And they start chatting to me for a bit, and then I become aware of a sort of ninja-like person creeping in behind me. "Yes, Mr. Williams, I am referring to you."
Ah.
And he was there to present me.
I have asked you to keep my ninja skills secret.
Don't worry.
Like my Salvation Army training, but not the ninja skills, okay?
Your ninja skills are actually in a photo of mine.
No. Shame on you being photographed. You're now Ronin. Anyway, I was presented with some original art by Simon Williams, and it just took my breath away when I saw it. And the weirdest thing was that I looked up, after giving Simon a man hug, which is obviously the goal in any young man's life, and there was Greg busy applauding away, going, "Yay, good on you, man!" I'm like, what parallel universe have I stepped into? So there we go. There's my top 3 memories of AA.
That's really cool. Mr. Williams, I believe it's your turn.
Ooh, where do I start?
At the beginning.
In 2005, I met Neil Kaplan.
Yeah.
And went karaokeing with him. Yes. Neil's such an awesome guy, and we hit it off, kept in touch. He's, and he's going to be there next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Me and a dear friend of mine, Kylie, who hasn't been to Auto Assembly, I think, since you guys have been going. She lives over in Australia, but hopefully she'll be coming next year.
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
Me, Kylie, and Neil struck up this friendship, and we went out. I believe it was a Saturday night, and we ended up at this karaoke bar in Birmingham. Neil will probably kill me for saying, but the karaoke compere was one of these. You'd be up there singing, and he would be talking over you and trying to steal the limelight.
Yeah.
Of course, Neil was looking on, and this wasn't ringing right with him. So he says, "I'm going to put my name down." He put his name down for this song, and he got up. I forget what the song was, but it's something like "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," something like that. He sung it in the perfect voice of Kermit the Frog. I kid you not. Everyone there was like speechless, and this karaoke compere his jaw just dropped, and it was perfection. And I will never forget that kind of moment. We ended up staying up till about 3 or 4 in the morning in his hotel bar, singing Blues Brothers songs and doing Yoda impersonations, as you do.
As you do.
But yeah, that was great. Another memory that's come to mind. It's a nice memory, but hint of sadness was Auto Assembly 2011. You guys remember David Thomas, don't you?
Yeah.
Who unfortunately passed away. He was there, and he came up and spoke to me, and we were having a conversation, and I'd had a raffle ticket, and I won something with this raffle ticket. I think it was Transformers Dark of the Moon novelisation. Not Dark of the Moon.
It'll be in Revenge of the Fallen, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And I won this this novelisation, so I had it, and I said, "There you go, fella." I says, "You can have that." And just a little gesture like that, his face lit up. It was like someone had given him the moon and the stars. And I'll always be glad that I did that for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is fun. I'm just looking at his picture now on Facebook, and I was glad I did that.
Yeah, and that's a really nice story.
Other memories. Ooh, I have too many.
Alcohol sorts that.
But when you get to my age, you see, you it's hard to recall them. Being 150 years old.
Whippersnapper.
I remember when there were nothing but frost giants over here.
Yeah, verily. I gotta say, making good friends with all you guys throughout all the different auto assemblies, meeting wonderful people, and it's been no secret that this past couple of years has been turbulent for me, but I got to say the support, love, and friendship that you've all given me through thick and thin, that's the best thing ever to come out of Auto Assembly for me.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that.
I'd agree it's the best thing to come out of it for all of us.
Yeah.
The community that has suddenly embraced each other.
Yeah. So, and of course, meeting all the different guests, I'm not going to mention names because I'll probably forget someone. The last thing I want to do is, upset anyone. But
Adam White, you remembered meeting Adam White. I think that was quite a big thing.
Yes,
He was a special guest
at the time.
And remember, folks, by the way, if you do want to embrace us at AA, you will shower first.
Yes, and we don't charge much.
Well, for showering people.
Yeah.
I will take that job.
We're just going to turn the hose on people.
Oh, man, just get that.
Oh, yes.
And of course, there was that, having that wrestling promo match with young Mr. Nickel there.
Well, actually, weirdly enough, the one I'm thinking of is the sight of Mr. White here, as his soul just gives up and dies, as the pair of us are just wrestling at him.
Yeah, that picture is obviously still on Facebook. Yeah, apologies, people. That's what I will look like when I'm close to death.
Oh, dear me. I'm actually going to break tradition here, and I'm going to give you a memory of mine, which is not something I've done so far in the shows. But I feel, and this is one of the reasons I wanted Mr. Williams here. A couple of years back, people that know me, Stu, Rob, and a few others, they got together, and they commissioned Mr. Williams here for a picture.
Ooh.
A picture of the Firecons.
Oh.
Without me ever finding out, and it's amazing that they managed to do this without me ever finding out, because AA Sunday fell on my birthday.
Yeah.
At the stroke of midnight, they brought me, well, Mr. Williams here brought me that picture. And for everyone who knows me, they'll know how rare this is. I was rendered speechless. I had nothing.
I remember both Adams. I remember with the artwork.
To this day, that thing is framed and in a pride place, and I still thank you and cannot thank you enough for it.
Likewise.
Yeah.
So that was
actually really good fun to draw as well, because I won't lie, sometimes when I get asked to do sketches, especially of like the Bayverse characters, I kind of think, oh God, nothing against it. I'm probably one of the few that doesn't mind those films, but they're a nightmare to draw.
I can imagine.
Absolute pain in the bum. In the Bumblebee.
I'm going to use that sentence.
But those are good, fun characters to draw. And they bring back fond memories of the old Marvel UK comics as well.
Yeah.
That's why I fell in love with them. Love the Firecons. They're so pretty. So we'll move on. What are you looking forward to this year? I'm going to go round the other way this time. I'm going to start with Mr. Williams, because he needs to talk more. Because I'll sit here and listen to you talking for hours on end.
No, that's a rarity. People are usually telling me to shut up. Seeing all you guys.
Oh, I feel all happy now.
Yeah, seeing all you guys and other friends that I've made. Going to be cool to see Dan Gilbazan and Neil Kaplan again. And to meet Steve Bloom as well, because I'm a big fan of his work. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to catching up with everyone, and I'm not going to be there in an official capacity this year, but it's just going to be nice just to be able to chill, and like if anyone wants anything signed, then fair enough, I'm happy to do that, but it's just going to be great to catch up with you all. And of course I haven't been to the new venue either, so that's going to be...
It has a pool.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, it does.
It so has a pool.
It really does. Everyone in the pool.
I
believe it.
Shall I wear my Baywatch costume?
No. Yes.
Yes.
What, the
Yes.
Erica Eleniak model?
How did you know I got that one?
After the Ann Summers conversation earlier on, I'm not surprised in the slightest. Mr. White, what are you looking forward to this year?
For this year, I'm not there as a member of the committee. I'm helping out, but not as much, with the express wish that I aim to speak to a lot of people that I've not spoken to before. There are people that I've been in contact with on Facebook or been aware of in our community, and yet I've always been busy with other things. I've always been focused on one or two areas, and I want to chat to new people, literally plonk myself down and go, hey, I've known about you for ages. We're Facebook buddies, so come on, let's actually talk in the real world. So that's definitely one big aim. But the other one as well is that there are a couple of little plans that I put in motion to help reward, assist people that have helped me in the past. And it would be nice for those things to come to fruition. So, fingers crossed.
Please tell me that you're planning to ride a pig round the bar.
No, that's next year.
Oh,
That's the 30th anniversary pig. And also the fact that I some of the guests that we've got, especially on the comic side, are people that I've never met before, but I do have quite a lot of contact with. And so I'm really looking forward to sitting down, not talking TFs, but just sitting down and having a bit of a natter.
Yeah. That's actually a strange thing, and it happens every year. How much time have you actually spent talking Transformers over the years?
You don't, because you talk about it the other 365 days of the year.
Yeah. It's a strange one.
This is when you talk about weirdness.
Yeah. Hi.
See Jean-Paul Beauvais for examples of weirdness. Thank you.
That man terrifies me.
Indeed.
That's right. It has been a while since we've heard from you. What are you looking forward to this year?
Well, the usual, of course, which is seeing everybody again. And I hope to be able to talk to a lot of people this year. And someone I'd like to mention in particular, because he's pretty much my best friend, David Ford, goes by the name of Temple at the IDW forum. And the reason I mention it is because, the past few weeks or a really long time, he's been having some pretty scary heart problems. And he's been in the hospital in and out last week. So it was really, really iffy to see if he was even going to be there. But he got the go-ahead to be there. So I'm really, really looking forward to see him again.
Yeah, man. Well, we wish him a speedy recovery. I hope that things sort out.
Get well soon.
A lot is interesting. He's commented on something this evening for me because I made a joke about, there being a couple of us walking wounded at AA, but there are people that go to that convention, and it could be a struggle time-wise or financially or health-wise. There are so many people that make a sacrifice to be there. That's why it is worth speaking to as many people as possible, because they are all passionate enough to be there, and they've all made those sacrifices, and they're all worthy to be there. And that's what makes our community so great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to saying hi to him as well.
That's really cool.
If I can get a word edgeways with Sprite being there.
Yes, she does talk a lot. I've heard this about her. Oh, wait, sorry, she's there. Shh. Right then. Right then, so the final question I have for you, and I'll start with Mr. White this time. Advice that you'd give to somebody going for the first time this year?
Oh, crikey. I could be cheeky and say, watch my video.
Well, you could do that if you wanted to shamelessly self-promote.
I'll do that at the end. It really does go into two categories. There's the factual stuff, and then there's the enjoyment. The factual stuff is there is a guide on the website that will tell you 80% of everything that you need to know.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know that's a low figure, but seriously, that's some of the details that you could really do with. Read that thing, and then the rest of it you can adapt around. Trust me. But reading that thing is pivotal. The other bit is in the socializing side, which is go up and say hi. That's the toughest thing that you have to do, especially if you're brand new there. Okay, you might have 2 or 3 people that you said you'd meet up with on the first night, but you go into the bar and you can't see them anywhere. So you pick the nearest group of people and you go up and you say hi. Or you pick someone that you've seen on YouTube and you go up and you say hi. Once you've done that, the rest of it's easy. Look at the people going back for the second time. They're the ones on Facebook going, I can't believe it, I was so nervous last year, and oh my god, it was amazing. And they're the people going back and they suddenly know 10 times the amount of people.
Yeah.
And they suddenly are on podcasts or community stuff. Okay, it all explodes, but it needs you to make that effort and say hello. And it is tough for so many people. Hey, I could be in the middle of everyone on a Saturday night, I could still have a panic attack and boom. But the fact is, all these people make that effort to say hi, and then after that, boom, you're part of the community. And there is no better place to be in the world on that Saturday night than in that bar with the Denzians of AA.
I agree, wholeheartedly.
Amen, brother.
Can we get an amen, Mr. Williams?
Hallelujah.
That'll do me.
Amen.
Sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a hallelujah from you as well.
Do you want an amen and a hallelujah or some advice?
I want all 3.
Handled.
I want all 3, and I'm going to get comfortable now. In your own time.
Amen. Hallelujah. And the piece of advice I have, I think I might have mentioned this before, but if you can afford it, try to stay as long as possible, because a lot of people will be there on Thursday already, and there's a really good atmosphere going. And apparently we'll be having games night on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy Monday mornings as well, which is usually a couple of people, basically leftovers, relaxing, hanging out, and it's really, really cool. So yeah, try to stay as long as possible.
I've never actually stayed for very long on the Monday morning.
Oh, you should. It's fun.
I'm in a car, so there's a fair few of us, so we leave when the driver wants to go.
Yeah, well, I'm not leaving on Monday. I'm leaving on Wednesday this year, but.
Oh, there's some commitment for you. I'm not going. You have to pry me out of this place with a crowbar.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, there's also, because I've got chronic fatigue syndrome, I want some time to rest up before I'm engaging on the journey home.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But even so, even if I would leave on Monday, my flight doesn't leave until 1, so I'm usually there in the morning anyway.
With, as you've so nicely put it, the leftovers.
Leftovers. Or the diehards.
Oh, that's a better way of putting it, I suppose.
The diehards. Let's call them the diehards.
The remnants.
Yeah, and it's usually it's quite nice because it's a much smaller group.
Mm-hmm.
So you've basically got time and to talk with each other and reminisce about the weekend gone by. It's really nice. Yeah.
It's usually a good thing, because I think the Monday is often a hard one for people because
Yeah,
it's all over and done with. I think a lot of people suffer from the con blues, I think is a good way of putting it, where you've
Con come down.
Yes.
It's really, really sad to say goodbye to people. Well, personally, for me personally, that I'm really close to, that I talk to every day online, but don't see a lot, and usually only see once a year. So yeah, there will be tears.
I normally have I get it really bad on the way home.
Yeah.
Just because I'm gonna go return to the real world now. But anyhow, Mr. Williams, what advice would you give to somebody going for the first time this year?
Little bit difficult for me to say because I haven't been to the new venue, so I don't know if it's much different.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make the convention a much different experience?
I would say it does.
Yeah.
And I think that this year we're going to get a different experience again, because a lot of last year ended up being people being spread out quite a lot rather than being in certain areas. And I think this year with the Swerves Bar, you're going to have a lot more people being, not compacted, but a lot more people being in the same area. And I think it's going to be really easy to just strike up conversations with people you've never met before.
Right. Well, I'd have to say, like Adam said, just go up and speak to people. Because if you're going along for the first time, you will genuinely... You have 100% chance of meeting some of the best friends you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
And, everyone's... I've been blessed to make so many friends, and you guys included, by going to Auto Assembly. So, yeah. And my advice in the first place is just go there, because a friend of mine, Lisa, who I met last year, hi Lisa, talking about going along, I said, you've got to go. I said, just bite the bullet, go for the weekend. And she really enjoyed herself. She's going along again this year. And probably the biggest advice I would say, possibly a little bit too late now, is make sure you're staying at the hotel where it's... because, it's all part of the experience.
Mm-hmm. I've only ever stayed out of the hotel once, and I do feel like I missed out on quite a lot because of that.
Yeah. I don't know what the prices at the Hilton are, but judging from the other place, it was just so nice to be able to just go up to your room if you wanted to, or hang out in the bar till crazy hours and worry about getting a taxi or anything because I get lost in my own house. So walk into a hotel or something would be a definite no-no for me. I got to admit that's all I could. And make sure you come up and say hello to me. And ladies, kiss me.
He'll be the one with a small hairy man hanging from his back going, I'm going to win this time. I've decided that I am now Kato to your Ecluso. I'm going to attack at various times.
Genius.
It'll be like a small weasel running at you.
Last month at the London Film and Comic Con, I was in the green room, and I turned around and he was there talking to someone. Really old now.
Yeah. Wow.
It's pretty surreal. You turn around and Danny Glover's sitting at the table next to you. That was.
He's too old for that shit.
He is, yeah. You know. Says the pot calling the kettle old. It was appropriate.
Burn.
Indeed.
Lovely guy. Really nice guy.
Oh man.
Just off the back of that hotel, because of various things this year, at the moment I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to be staying, but I agree wholeheartedly with Simon. You've got to be in the convention hotel if you can be, not only because it's so cheap. I mean, the deal that they've managed to get, and for what you get, and for the pool, and for the amenities, and for the football-sized field in which they serve breakfast, which is amazing.
4 types of eggs.
4 types of eggs, unbelievable. But also as well, just going off the back of that, and this is a tiny little extra story. A couple of years ago, I was on the door on the Sunday, and it had reached about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And let's face it, everything is winding down, and a couple came up. Gruffy, you've probably heard this before. The guy had the look of a first timer, and his wife had the look of a mortified, embarrassed partner being with a first timer. And she asked me, "Is this where the crazy robot people go?" And I said yes, and he looked at her, yeah. And he said, "Look, I heard about this place. I could only come down now. I just want to have a look around. Do I have to buy a ticket?" And I said, "No, you just go in there, mate. It's 3 o'clock. Go in, have a look around. Do us a favour, though. You're not really seeing the stalls at their best because it's a Sunday. But go in the bar and just chat to a few folks because you'll enjoy it. Okay? Just go in, have a blast, enjoy, have fun." Now, I've probably changed elements of that, but it was a couple of years ago and it was a bit blurry. What I do remember far more clearly is the fact that the next year, when I was on the door on the Friday, both of them come bombing up.
Oh man.
And I was like, "Wow, you guys came back." And he went, "Oh yeah, it's you. Yeah, we had to come back. She insisted on it."
Oh, that's so cool.
They'd gone into the bar, they'd sat down with a lucky group of people. I've got to imagine it's someone like George. You know, someone just really just relaxed and cool and open. They had the time of their life. They realized just how good the social side of it was. She loved it. They came back and they'd already, sorted out their ticket as well for the next year, which was last year. And they weren't just there last year as regular attendees. No, they were there as volunteers.
Oh, that's so cool.
And they'll be there this year as volunteers. And it's like, it's great. And she doesn't have to be a huge fan of Transformers. She just has to be a fan of nice people. And guess what? Yeah. That's what AA's got in spades.
Basically, that's also why my sister's coming, because she is a Transformers fan, especially Beast Wars, but she's not as big a fan as I am. But it's basically because of the social aspect that she's coming back.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show how important it is.
Well, last year, the 2 things spring to mind. Alpha Big Dog on the Full Metal Hero forums. I was just standing outside, and he came up to me. He recognised me from the picture that's on Full Metal Hero, and started chatting away with me. And the reason for that was he thought I gave him a really good deal on a couple of toys he'd bought. And I was just blown away by this guy. Was just so thankful he wanted to come and talk. It's just okay. And he was a lovely guy. He's brilliant. The other one that springs to mind is Taz and lovely Taz's wife, Emma. Those two were... I mean, I've spoken to Taz over Twitter beforehand and whatnot, and, I'd never really met them or had any real interaction. Those two are the single nicest people I think I've ever met. Love those two. I mean, I've been to visit them and stuff now. They are just brilliant, and I am proud to say that they're my friends. And this is what AA did for my social life. It gave me a whole heap of new people to antagonised, basically. That's just because I'm me.
It's quite funny. Like every year after I go to AA, my friends list on Facebook basically doubles.
But it's it's weird that a convention I went to, more than a couple of years ago now, has led to this, and it's led to quite a lot of things that have changed in my life, and for the better. Without going to AA, I wouldn't have started the podcast. Without starting the podcast, I wouldn't have met so many people. I wouldn't have done so many things I could never have dreamed of. Meeting Mr. Williams here, for example, having a chat with Dirk Maggs. These are things I would never have ever expected to happen, and I could never be thankful enough that they have. And it all comes down to, I went to a Transformers convention 5 years ago.
Yep.
It's insane at times. You start thinking about it. But anyhow, has everyone given advice? Yes, they have. So now I'm going to give you the mystery question. I love the quiet fear. That's so nice.
No, I'm just gone.
I'm just calling my lawyer.
Basically, I need some intro and outro tunes.
That's not a mystery question. The other podcast had that too.
Well, because some of them have already gone up, some people have already listened and they've already cheated.
Uh-huh.
Cheater. So, Sprite, give me a song to use as my intro music for this show.
Well, I've been dipping into the Mordor Meets the Ice soundtrack, and I'm going to suggest the Divine Comedy, Tonight We Fly.
Divine Comedy, Tonight We Fly. Okay, then. Mr. White.
9 Inch Nails, we're in this together now.
Oh, I like it. And then finally, Mr. Williams.
Well, the song title that's coming to mind is I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts. But
By Anon. I tell you what, if you can find a 9 Inch Nails remix of it, I will switch my vote to yours.
I will see what I can do. I might spend some time on Monday just piecing together a song. Okay.
I apologise for that. It appears that Mr. Grufflock himself has been rendered speechless.
Twice in one lifetime.
The podcast.
Of all the things I expected, I did not expect I have a lovely bunch of coconuts. Oh my god.
I can sing it for you if you want.
Oh, go on then.
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Really deep.
Can't do it the 9 Inch Nails version though. Probably because I haven't heard it.
Got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Yeah.
This sounds like the type of song that will be in the heads of listeners for a week.
Quite possibly. I'm tempted now to actually sit and record a version of I Have a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts using 9 Inch Nails industrial style.
I think you should call this episode of the podcast that.
9 Inch Coconuts.
Yeah. I've got a lovely bunch of 9 Inch Coconuts, yes.
Guess where they'll go.
Available at Ann Summers.
Oh, God.
Oh, 9 Divine Coconuts.
I think we've got ourselves a tribute band here, man.
There we go.
Who can sing?
Actually, it does sound like a drag act.
I got the feather boas, man.
Why is this going back to cross-dressing again?
Because at its heart, it's always been there.
Oh, God.
Do you want me to tell you a very funny story quickly?
Go on.
Auto Assembly, I believe it was 2009, was where Dan Gilbazan was the guest.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
I think so. No.
I only went.
9 was Greg.
So it would be 2008.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can remember waiting for the taxi to arrive first thing Saturday morning because I only came down for the one day. So my friend Maz and her daughters were coming with me. The taxi picked them up first and then came to pick me up. What I didn't realise was that my friend Maz, hi Maz, had told the taxi driver that I was a guest at a pornography convention. So, because I get into the taxi and I'm totally oblivious, hi, I can't wait for this convention. It's going to be such good fun, and I've got all this planned and all that. And the taxi driver was just, I noticed he kept looking back at me, kind of, yeah. So no wonder this cross-dressing talk keeps coming up, because I think I've been, mortally wounded by that experience.
Are you the Ron Jeremy of comics? Is this what this is now?
Ron Jeremy?
Yes.
Oh my God. I don't know.
I recommend you don't Google him.
I think I know who you're on about.
Yes.
No, I'm prettier than he is.
Well, yes, I was just going for...
I'm more a young Hugh Hefner of comics.
Oh, it's Stan Lee then. Wait, hang on. Well, I remember the day. No, stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it. He's not allowed out anymore.
No.
No. Not after the crying. Not after the screaming. He's not allowed out. I remember the days I created screaming. No, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Away with you. Right then. Then finally, all I have to do is say it's time for some pimpage. So, we'll start with Sprite. Sprite, what would you like to pimp out to the listeners at home?
Oh, I have something to pimp.
Is it Adam?
It is not Adam. I think Adam is perfectly capable of pimping himself.
That's what you think.
I do on street corners across the globe.
I've got a giant purple hat that says otherwise.
What I want to pimp out is a very special comic, which will be available in extremely limited numbers. And it's a comic about Bumblebee by my friend Ed Perry, for which I did the cover.
Cool.
Yes, and it will be available from Ed, but there's only 20 copies printed. So if you get one, you will be extremely lucky. And of course, everybody who worked on the comic will be available for signage.
Cool.
Should you want us to scribble all over it?
I saw the cover art.
Liam Shalhoub did the colors.
Really nice work, well done.
It basically is due to his colors. They're absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
No, I mean, when you did that caricature of me, I was over them. No, really nice work, Sprite. Well done. And Ed, well, his work speaks for itself.
Yeah, he'll also have a whole bunch of sketches for sale at his table, because he is a guest at Auto Assembly this year again.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
If you're a fan of Ed's work, for all the listeners out there, go buy a sketch of him.
I agree totally. I mean, I've said this to Ed numerous times. He actually drew my favourite ever image of Death's Head, which was published in the Cybertronian Times. And if there's one guy who deserves to be a pro and will be a professional, listen, Mr. Ed Perry, it is Ed. He's
absolutely, yeah.
Totally deserves to be out there on the comic book shelves.
That's really cool. See, this is why I love this community.
I do hope that, when he's rich and famous, he remembers me for saying that.
Yes, when people are rich and famous, yes, Mr. Williams.
I'm int and infamous.
You're going to say rich and nymphomaniac. I don't know why. Mr. White, what have you got to pimp?
Crikey! I might as well pimp the Underbase, because people won't have heard of them. They grab comics and they talk about them, and because there are a lot of people, there's a lot of comics and a lot of talking. And you can find us on the Underbase, which is on Facebook. Just search for the Underbase. It's kind of got a Cybertronian symbol on a planet. And you can find us on iTunes. There we go. That's it, really.
I've heard about this Underbase. I hear that the Beast Hunters reviewers are terrible.
I don't actually listen to them because the taste filter on my computer doesn't allow the download.
Oh.
How sad is that?
I'm really upset now. The Beast Hunters team now accuse. They accuse you.
I still actually got the episode that you guys kindly reviewed, my Hulk Death's Head Solman Inc. sketchbook. And what you guys said about me that day has helped me quite a few times, to be honest. So thank you for that. Thanks for the kind words.
I wasn't even on that because I didn't get a hold of that exclusive item. I did do the Hulk vs. Death's Head, the actual Marvel Heroes one. That was fun.
I think
That
we
was
reviewed that
great.
one as well, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
If memory serves me right. Anything with Death's Head. More Death's Head.
More Death's Head.
You hear that, Marvel?
Yes.
Fucking more Death's Head. Then finally, Mr. Williams. What would Sir like to pimp?
Well,
Adam.
I thought I would. I've already pimped Adam.
It's a universal truth.
It was hard work because there was just too much
Material to go on, I know.
I want to pimp a new documentary that's being made about me
Right.
called Confessions of Anne Summers Addict. Stars me and feather boas. Very similar to the caricature that Sprite did of me, only I've got this chest hair. It's PG rated. It'll be in cinemas near you, and I'm actually doing a countrywide tour of Lidl's doing screenings. So, if you want to come along and bring your whatever it is you got of me, I will get my people to sign them for you.
Can I ask, will you be in the section where they sell the odd gloves, body warmers, smoking jackets, and cup holders?
No, I'm in the section where cleaning products.
Wet wipes.
Well, I wasn't going to say, but no. Aside from that, I would like to go to a certain upcoming comic book, which you may have heard of.
Please tell us about the comic.
That's it. I've rendered Mr. Ruffalo helpless again. Yeah. This comic is called Retro Tales. It's under an imprint that I've come up with called the Retro Comics Group. Everyone says I've got this retro comic style going on, so I just realised one day, you know what? Let's run with it. I've got these characters, the Discotronic Fun Commandos, which are great fun, and I hope people will enjoy them. Got some very special guests coming up as well. One you may have heard of. His name is David Hasselhoff.
Yay!
Very cool guy. Got some great fun ideas coming up. Little exclusive for you here.
Ooh.
We also have a WWF legend.
Wow.
I will say no more,
No.
but it will be in what's planned to be the last issue of Volume 1.
Man alive. I'm so pleased that things are taking off for you in this way, man. Really am.
Thank you very much. We've pitched to a publisher.
Cool.
We're just waiting to hear back as to what's going to happen. Either way, I want the comic to be out. The plan is late this year, January 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Another little exclusive is there will be a Transformers homage / parody issue, which is dedicated to all you guys.
Ooh.
For everything that you've done for me. So, and I can
that's
say
nice.
there are going to be special guests involved as well.
Is it Mr. White in a dress?
Remember, if you draw me, bald is beautiful, but pecs are still important.
I can't capture your beauty, Mr. White.
Just draw a sausage. That'll be fine.
Our sausages are good. Yes, that reminds me of Ann Summers again.
Oh, God.
Let's go there anyway.
Oh, I can't
Quality
take it.
products.
Oh, and I think with that,
No wonder they call you the hot dog.
I'm going to call you that now.
Frankfurter. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Adam, the hot dog White.
It's the buns that do it.
Oh, yeah.
But if I may just add a little bit to my pimpage,
Certainly.
please feel free to check out the new website for the comic, which is www.retrocomicsgroup.co.uk. And we also have a YouTube channel. If you search on Google for Retro Comics Group YouTube, we've only got one little trailer video up at the moment, but got some more stuff coming your way.
That's cool. I'll endeavour to try to remember to link when this show goes up on probably Wednesday.
Thank you.
So let's get some people going. Let's get people interested. Not that people aren't already interested. Your Facebook page seems to have gone absolutely nuts over the last few months.
Well, you know, this past month I've been mentioned on Sky News, MTV.
My God.
Bleeding cool.
Wow.
Loads of different comic sites and all that, and it's it's a little bit surreal, but very cool as well.
The Daily Mail, the Daily Express,
Daily Sport.
Star.
Yeah, but the Daily Sport aren't interested, and I just don't get it. You know, I've offered
You're too old, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, and I've got to say I wouldn't be where I am now without the support of all you guys and everyone who supports my work, and I'll always be grateful to that.
You're always welcome, man. Always welcome.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we should draw this to a close because this is slightly longer than the half hour that I was expecting to try and get it done in.
Now, that's your fault for getting me on board, because I do like to talk.
Wouldn't have had it any other way, man. Would not have had it any other way.
Good stuff.
So thank you very much, guys, for coming on tonight for the final episode of the Road to AA. I think I couldn't have wished for a better one.
Cool.
It's been lovely for you to talk to me.
And you hurt me. You've hurt me this evening.
We do know this is actually my first podcast ever.
Oh, there we go.
No way.
Wow.
So
No way.
you
Yep.
consider
You're
yourself popped. Hang on. No, wait.
My cherry!
Let's back away from that. Oh, God. Lawyers.
Too late.
Flashback to the
You see,
lawyers.
now you see who my bad influence is. I was perfectly naive and innocent before I met Adam.
Wait, hang on. Which Adam?
Both of you. Yes, Mr. Hot Dog and Mr. Grufflock.
Grufflock and Hot Dog. We could be a detective agency.
Can I just be Jumbo? It sounds better.
Jumbo and Grufflock, coming soon.
They
Yeah.
have watched their best friends die. They are out for revenge. They're
Jumbo White, you put down that badge and that gun. You're not going after them. I'm sorry, Chief. I gotta do what a Jumbo has to do.
I've actually got to mention that me and my friend John Howard is a Marvel UK artist, and if I can give a quick plug to his book, Tales of the Buddha Before He Became Enlightened, which is available now, written by Alan Grant, Judge Dredd fame. Me and John were jokingly going to put together a comedy detective agency character thing called Privates Investigated, where I was going to be, I believe, Lance Macho, and he was going to be Johnny Hardcastle, the love sponge. He's going to kill me for mentioning this now, because he actually sent me a private message on Twitter once saying, "Stop calling me love sponge, people think we're a couple." John, I love you, buddy. Oh God, that's going to stir things up, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. I'm looking forward.
Privates Investigated, coming soon.
Right. Well, I'm going to draw this to a close now. Quickly, before anything
Good
else
luck.
happens that we end up going off on another tangent. I could happily sit here all night, but limited space, and I haven't been to the toilet in nearly 2 hours. So, thank you very much, guys, for coming on tonight. It has been absolutely brilliant.
Well, I've been on the toilet the whole time. Can you hear?
I could have lived without knowing that.
I did wonder what the flop and spot.
And now you will die. Still remembering that.
No, I'll put your mind at ease. That last comment is entirely true.
Oh, God. Right. I was going to say I'm going to flush this now. No, stop it. Stop it. I've literally got my head on the desk now. I'm broken. I'm broken and hurting. Right. We will
It's the best place to meditate, you know.
And remember, folks,
Best
this
ideas
is
on the
this
list.
is just the warm-up act for AA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to go uphill, then downhill, then further uphill again.
Well, I think there should be a transformer that turns into a toilet.
Commodotron.
Toilet
was.
leader of
There was.
the pups.
Yeah.
There was a knockoff Soundwave.
No, there was a Lou Springer did it. I'm sure he did. Or Stringer, sorry, did it. I'm sure there was in one of his old cartoons.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lou is brilliant.
I think it was in one of the Transformers UK classics.
Robo-Capers?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lou is one of my favourite cartoonists. He's and such a nice guy as well.
If only McFeely was here, he would have told you which robot, which name, and what issue it was in. Anyway, sorry, Gruffy, you were going to bring this to a close.
Oh, I've
about
given up.
20 minutes
I've
ago.
given up. This is going to be the first ever 24-hour podcast. I'm just letting you go now.
We'll finish in AA. We'll have just missed it.
No.
We're going to have to finish because I need to get off this toilet.
I need to get on it.
So do I. So say we all.
Oh,
Basically, this descends into toilet humor.
completely and utterly. Hi. How you doing? I'm really happy, actually. I've been quite sensible through this. I've just let Simon go. Right, with that, I thank you all for coming on tonight, and I thank you all for listening. We will see you, as this is coming out on the Wednesday, we will see you, if not tomorrow, then the day after, for Auto Assembly itself. Good night, all.
Buy a bald man a drink.
Buy a hairy man a drink. Anybody else?
I'm still on the Lou.
I'm good, thanks.
Night, everyone.
Bye.
I've become impossible, holding on to when everything seems to matter more. The two of us, all used and beaten up, watching fade as it flows down the path we have chosen. Awake to the sound.